Hello and welcome to PGurus channel. I'm your host Sri Iyer. Today I have a very special guest. There are very few people who can practice law in both the Supreme Court of India and the United States. And Anu Peshawaria, Anu, I hope I pronounced your name right. Anu Peshawaria is one of those. And Anu, welcome to PGurus channel.
Oh, welcome. Thank you so much.
Did I pronounce it right? Peshawaria?
Yeah, Peshawaria is a lot of people call it that way, and we call it Peshawaria.
Oh, okay. So we'll stick with how you would like to be called. So Anu Peshawaria.
Yes.
Anu, I want to bring your attention to this recent action by the United States government of having a fake university in Detroit's Farmington Hills, and the Department of Homeland Security established this university to try and smoke out some fake degree operators who are operating in the United States, and looks like they have taken several of them into custody. But an unfortunate casualty of this is probably some innocent students who signed up for this not knowing the consequences. Now, you have been contacted by some of these students, and I would like for you to share with our viewers what you've seen so far and how do you see this thing play out, because I would really like to explain to the parents who are probably very, very concerned about the future of their children.
Yes, it is a very concerning thing at the moment, because this is perhaps one of the largest arrests so far of Indians in America. I think it's close to 600 people at this time, and most of them are girls. And this is a very tragic time actually for India. You see, the thing that I feel the most about is that the lure of going to America, it's just that we think that America is paradise, America is great. So at whatever cost we want, we should send our children overseas. What is the reason? If you do want to go, then use legal means. Don't use fake or illegal ways of going. I've been noticing as an immigration lawyer for almost 35 years that immigration is a part of us. We all want to go to a smaller city, person wants to go to a larger city, another country wants to move to a better place. This is in our blood. We are all wanting to move. So it's not that there's anything wrong in wanting to immigrate or open another office overseas or go anything. But the thing is that whichever country you're immigrating to, you're supposed to know the laws of that country and then follow the laws of that country. So if anybody from, say, America wants to come and live in India, we are supposed to follow the laws of India. So it's the same thing for immigration, that if we are coming to America, we should look at the laws first. In my opinion, this university issue came up because the need of going is so desperate that a lot of unscrupulous agents, a lot of unscrupulous people start springing up. You find at any travel agency, at any place, they'll say, well, we'll just make you a visitor visa, we'll just get you something. So what they start doing is they start manipulating your documents. They'll prepare documents. I've heard people put false money into people's accounts. Somebody else's false degrees are created. All those things, once and for all, once you put them on documentation before the embassy, lifelong, that's a record for you. You cannot change that. And later on, you may come and say anything, that I did not mean this or somebody else put this. You are presumed to have told a lie from the very beginning. So although we as immigration lawyers help you overcome certain things where some cases are genuine or where we can find some reasons of, that's called a waiver. On some grounds, we can get you some lenience from the government, but we can't do it all the time. So this is one such incident. Why did United States have to create an entire university to lure them is another issue. But probably they could have caught them in any other way. That would have been better, because in this manner, innocent lives have been hurt. Because I don't think that when you create a university, you basically, there has to be some ways. You're not just going to be sitting there and say, come to me, and people are come. So you're definitely going to lure them to a certain extent. Now, whether that constitutes entrapment or not is a question. So being a Supreme Court lawyer, and I've done litigation for so many years, I just feel that the borderline is being crossed, because somewhere there is some sort of luring. It's not that everybody knew everything. There may be a bunch of people who knew. There may be only few people who knew, not all.
Now, Anu, from what I have been reading about this case, some people were working, doing jobs, and then they signed up to this university thinking that they were going to get another degree. And looks like some people actually applied from India and came all the way across. Is that your understanding too?
Yes, it is true, because this problem has been happening for a long time. See, when you come to America under the student visa, you are allowed optional practical training. You're also offered CPT, which is curricular practical training. Now, all these practical trainings is what you get, that you can work outside the campus for a limited number of hours. Now, that rule is very strict. If you're coming here as a student, you're only supposed to study. Now, I find many people here doing 4 masters. Do you really
My God, that's a lot.
Masters? Yeah. They come enroll in 1 master's, they get the CPT or they get the OPT, and then they get enrolled into a 2nd master's, and then they enroll into a 3rd master's. I've seen people 4, 5 masters just sitting here doing one program after another so that they can work outside. Now, even the rules of working outside after 4 masters is also limited, because it has to be appropriate to the program that you're working in, you're studying, whether it is required as a part of the program or not. So they're so strict, but these laws are being violated. And because these laws are being violated, it is making Homeland Security look into these laws, which they rightfully are doing. Because if you are coming as a student, you're supposed to remain a student. And some of them have come knowingly that in this particular university, there are no classes. There is no curriculum. When there is no curriculum and no classes, obviously there is you clearly know that this is a pay for hire. So you're basically coming here and you're thinking you're studying. So those people who are aware of it, that from the very beginning they're not attending any classes and they were getting this CPT just to work outside, will obviously have serious consequences.
Now, what are the next steps available for these students? I know that the Indian consulate has been in touch with some of them. What are their other recourses? Do they have to engage a lawyer such as yourself, or what would you advise them to do?
Well, first of all, the consulate, the Indian consulate is doing a great job because they're at least reaching out to them. This is one of the largest scale of Indians having, I would say, being ever deported to India. Because how many of them are taking voluntary departure at this time? But even if they take voluntary departure, they have to follow the rules of voluntary departure. Otherwise, they may not be able to come back again. And if you stay beyond a period of 180 days in this country, you get a 3-year ban. And if you stay beyond that, you get a 10-year ban. So that's something on which you can never return ever to United States. So at this time, taking a decision what to do, whether one should do voluntary departure or not, or whether one should do consular processing, or whether one should do adjustment of status, this in each case will vary depending on the circumstances of that person's case, because everybody's facts will be different. So knowing what they came in for, who brought them in, did they or did they not know that there were no classes, where were they working on CPT, was it a part of the curriculum or not? So all these questions will matter. And also whether they have other ways of adjusting status in the country or not. Like somebody may have a husband who's working on an H1, so they could convert to H4. Somebody could be getting married to a US citizen and could convert status that way. Or somebody else may have some other legitimate claim to adjustment of status. But all these things have to be confidentially discussed with an attorney. Because an attorney is the only person with whom you can remain confidential, and he has a bar for discussing your case anywhere. So you can only trust an attorney. This is something you can't discuss on television or with somebody in general. That's why whenever we hold seminars, we say, do not construe this as legal advice, because this doesn't pertain to your case. Because I may give you some advice, and you may, again, if I give you some advice as a lawyer, it's your responsibility to take it, because you're an adult, you know what you're doing. So no lawyer can tell you to do a wrong thing also. So you have to be very aware in these circumstances, and you have to know the law.
Know the law, know your rights, and you may want to contact someone like Anu Peshawaria. And these are trying times for those parents who have probably not heard from their children yet. I think help is going to be provided to them. There are lots of attorneys of Indian American descent who have been involved in these things. So, Anu, thank you for sharing your thoughts on this subject. We will be back with you with more such news topics. Thank you very much.
You're welcome.